Hi, everybody. I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV channel, studio, Q&A tonight. We're doing stained glass questions. We're answering your questions, and we're happy to have you here tonight.
Yeah, so it's Monday, February the 13th, and tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day to
Happy
everybody.
early Valentine's Day, everyone. So, yeah, we have a busy week this week, and we had a lot of questions come in.
We sure did, Barb.
So if you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q, and we'll be happy to answer it. That in the background is our puppy.
Miss Mary.
Miss Mary. She is
chewing on her
bone.
treats.
And so we might have to put her in the other room, but I think she's going to be okay.
I think she's doing well. So
having
yes,
fun.
we did receive her package today from Miss Mary, and we want to thank you very much. And she is definitely enjoying the package.
That's
so.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a question, I hope everyone's had a good week this week.
I hope so. We went camping for the weekend. That was great, and we want to thank our sponsor tonight.
We want to thank
Sunshine Glassworks.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we just want to thank Sunshine Glassworks for being a sponsor of our Q&A every Monday night at 7 p.m. And remember, not only does Sunshine sell all your tools and supplies, but they also have over 1,500 different colors from all the manufacturers of glass in inventory. So, and I do know that they just got a shipment in from Wismac and are expecting some Kokomo in anytime now as well. So mid-February seems to be the big thing. Everybody's been working really hard before Christmas to build up inventory. So we want to thank everybody for patronizing Sunshine, and we want to thank them for being a sponsor of our show.
Yes, thank you very much. I think a lot of people enjoyed the box video. If you have any questions about the box video, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, because I think it was a big hit, Barb. Wow. The box video was a big hit. Of course, free pattern for 24 hours, that was an even bigger hit.
Yeah, that was
and,
good.
And then to help support the ARTyRV channel, thank you everyone who purchased this set of 4 box lid patterns. And we really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
So I had a lot of questions come in, and so the first one that I wanted to ask you, and I get this every single week, which brand of cutter do you use?
Well, Barb, I personally use the pencil. I have one right here, brand new in the bag. I have the.
Let me get a close up.
Yeah, here we go. I have the pencil grip Toyo TC with the Toyo TC10 head on it. It's really a nice cutter. As you realize, my cutter doesn't look like this at all anymore. This one's brand new. And so if I take this cutter and I reach over and get my cutter, I can show you the difference. It's my cutter's pretty well beat up. And if you notice, this cutter here, this is an old one. This was probably from, this cutter body is probably from the 80s. And it's much longer than the new brass one. You can see by about 1/2 inch. But if you do need your index finger a placement, you can just use your copper foil around the brass right here and do some soldering and do a little bit of filing, and all of a sudden you have a rest for your index finger. But I use the Toyo TC10 pencil grip brass handle cutter. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So, and if if you have the strength in your hand to use a pencil grip cutter, I suggest you use it. If not, probably the best cutter for you, that if you have arthritis really bad in your hand or something, you probably would want to use the pistol grip, because it allows you to use from your elbow down. It allows you to use all of that of your arm instead of just, your certain areas of your wrist. So you could try that out.
Right. Kathy Cat wanted to know, she loved the box video, but she wanted to know if you had to be a paying subscriber to get the pattern. She was curious.
No, not for the free 24 hours. No, you didn't have to be a paying subscriber. We wouldn't do that to anybody. So, so Barbara had it up for free, the heart pattern for free for 24 hours. And it went up for free last week's live stream on Monday night, right? 7 o'clock?
No, it went up when the video went public.
Yeah, when the video went public, which was
Monday? Was it Monday at 7?
I think
Monday
so.
at 7.
But anyway, so no, we wouldn't give away a free pattern only to our subscribers. We wouldn't. I mean, over to only to the people that belong to the ARTyRV fan club. But
we may do that from time to time, but not this one.
Yeah, not this one. No. Who asked that, Barb? Who was that? Cat.
That was Kathy Cat. Mm-hmm. But that would be a good perk. Have a pattern. Okay. Have another question.
Go ahead, Barb.
Burnt raw toast.
Hey, ma'am.
My solder was running off my iron tip. It was warmer in my garage than normal. Should I adjust my iron temp based on ambient temperature?
I would burnt raw toast, just because I do that all the time. Because I'll have the air conditioner going if it's hot outside. We walked in tonight after being gone all weekend. Oh my gosh, now we got the heat running. If I was soldering tonight, I'd have to run, an extra number hotter with my soldering iron than I would normally do. And let's clear something up from last week, y'all. My Heiko 601 iron is only 67 watts, just like everybody else's. And here's the thing about the Heiko, is when you take that tip apart, it's got that ceramic heater in there. So this is the reason that 67 watt iron will recuperate its heat quite rapidly, because that ceramic heater goes all the way down, and it really will recoup its heat quite rapidly. So, I prefer to use a 80 or 100 watt iron. Honestly, I did not know that the Heiko was 67 watts, because when I'm using it and I'm beating this stuff up, I mean, it's acting normal, not like a cold iron. So that ceramic tip really helps a lot. And you know what it is, y'all? It's technology. Years ago, the soldering iron, and I have a lot of those years ago soldering irons. But I have a new Heiko too, and I enjoy using it, and it's only 67 watts. The Weather I love to use is only 80 watts. So live and learn, everybody. And the Heiko is a really nice iron. And then I like that iron, don't you, Barb?
Yes.
Okay.
Susan B. said your shirt is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Hey, it's kind of a fuchsia color instead of a red. I thought it was red, but that's how my closet goes. I do have a red one. So. But thank you very much. I'm glad you like it.
Okay. Rochelle said you're looking very Valentine-y tonight.
I feel Valentine-y.
Mike and Chantel said they ordered some mini running pliers a couple weeks ago. They love them, and they love the handwritten note. He said we're awesome. You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you for the order.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Yeah, we
it.
appreciate the order. Thank you very much.
Ed has a question. I think you said that you dip the pencil cutter in the oil, or do you put a little inside the cutter?
When you first get a new cutter, Ed, you put it inside and let that wick absorb that, and then later on down the road you can just have a little like a cat food can with we used to just use cotton balls, but what happens was the cotton balls would get into cutter head. So what I use, just get some cheesecloth, put it in the bottom of that with a little bit of machine oil and kerosene mixed together, and just dip it in there every now and then. The thing about oil on your cutter, it just like makes a mess. And once your cutter head's broken in, and it's not broken in, it's dialed in to the pressure that you provide it while you're cutting your glass, then eventually you're not going to need that cutter oil. But every now and then, because you want to keep that armature that the wheel's on, you want to keep that lubricant, because all that has to turn. So it's all kind of a mechanism that all works together.
But not much.
But it doesn't take a whole bunch, because it lasts a very long time.
You don't want oil everywhere.
Yeah, it's really a good way to do it. I'm not saying don't oil your cutter, Ed, because you do. But you don't just like fill up the reservoir and leave it in there, as so many people have in the past, and it just makes a mess, Especially, the reservoir on the pistol grip cutter holds about a half a gallon of oil. So you definitely don't want to fill that one up.
Texas Tom said he can't post in the chat. I'm not sure about that. I think Ray's working on that. I don't know why that would be. But we'll look into it when we can. Mary Ellen has a question. For the box hinges, what size brass rods inside the 3/32 brass tube? And the next question is the same thing.
Right.
Does it come with the rod that fits inside?
Well, here's the thing. I don't stock them because you have to buy them in lots of 10 of the 1/8 inch, the 3/32.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, I talked to Sunshine on Thursday morning early, and they have plenty of them in stock. So you just order the hinge tubes that fit together. One's a 3/32. That's the big one. The small one is a 16th. So it's a 3/32 and a 16th. The 16th fits inside of it.
Comes as a pair.
And they come in lots. I guess you can buy them single, but it doesn't make any sense because you got to pay shipping on them somewhere, shape or form. But they come in little packs of 10, and I would just get that, and then you don't have to buy them again for a while unless you're really like us knocking out some boxes. So
yeah, we have enough for the boxes that we're doing, but we're not.
It doesn't make any sense to pay $8 shipping on something for one hinge that's 12 inches long, and you're gonna make 6 boxes. It's gonna
Maybe some people that are making boxes too, and y'all can split the cost and get a shipment.
Yeah, but they come in a little pack of 10, and Sunshine's got them. Sean's got the part number right on his desk, and or you can just go to their website at Sunshine Glass Works,
I
Well-
looked for it. I wish I had the number. I looked for it. I think you need to call because I could
Yeah,
not find it.
I wrote it down, but
easily.
I'm not going to get up and go in my office. It's
Okay.
in my office. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I could post it, but I think just call Sunshine. And
Yeah,
they'll do
Sean's
that.
aware of it. So.
Yeah. Is there a rule? Darren asks, is there a rule for the size of pieces of glass in a window? I was told more pieces make a stronger window.
Well, more pieces make a stronger window, and typically your overall size on your glass, really you want to keep it down to, like, if you can, the shapes and everything, like 6 by 6. The smaller the pieces are and the more intricate the window, but it's all, excuse me. The strength of the window is all in how the lead lines are ran. Whether you're doing lead or copper foil, the way you design the window so that it basically holds itself up from the design itself. You don't give it any opportunity to fold in half because you never do any perfectly horizontal lines in a window. And you never do any perfectly vertical lines other than in borders. And even then, they're not perfect because the vertical line might run up the border, but your border pieces are offset. And typically, that's why they use 2 borders to strengthen the outside up. So they'll use one, like an 1.5 inch border, and then they'll come inside and we use 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch border. And those horizontal lines in the borders are offset from each other, and this makes the window rigid. So,
Bobby Schneider said that she found the hinge parts at a local Ace Hardware really inexpensive.
well, if you can find them, that's great, and then you
Yeah.
don't have to order them,
And you don't have to pay freight.
and you don't have to pay freight on them. So if you can find them at a local hardware store, these are specifically for the size boxes that we're building. You can always use much larger, diameter. Brass tubes are pretty much available, but you just have to find the right ones because you don't want that lid sloppy inside the hinge pin. That's all.
Okay, this is a question that came in this week. Is the Heiko 601 soldering iron you have 100 watts?
No.
Oh,
Did I
that's
answer
right.
that question?
You already answered that question. I'm sorry.
What in the world's going on, Barb? Are you Valentining it?
Burnt roll toast. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
all right,
We
my
appreciate
friend. Thank
that.
you so much, Burnt Raw Toast.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We got the sailboat dancing in the moonlight. Let me tell y'all, do we have time for a quick story, Barb?
Sure.
I just want to share this with y'all. So, Saturday night, we had a low pressure come through, and we were at the campground. We got like 5 or 6 inches of rain. The wind was blowing 45 miles an hour, and so anyway, last night. Well, actually, it was early this morning. At 2:00 this morning, y'all, I took the dog out, and I walked outside the motorhome, and I looked up, and I could almost. There was no light where we were, and you could reach up and almost touch the stars. They were so big. It was like 37 degrees outside, or I would have stayed a little bit longer. But oh my gosh, if you all got to see the stars last night, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry,
nice clear sky.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay. That was another question
How were the
that
stars?
came in. No, about the hinges. Let's get back to stained glass.
Let's get back to it. I don't
Okay.
know if those part numbers are on my desk, and I'll get them after the show tonight, and I'll have Barbara go ahead and post them up. Is that okay? Will you do that? If I get the part numbers for you for the hinges?
I can put it on the community page, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll just link to the hinge video, but I'll put the part number on there in case
Right.
other people say, what is she talking about?
Oh,
So they
Michael
know.
McBride, you're
Thank
awesome.
you,
Thank
Michael.
you.
We appreciate that.
Let's go ahead and get that sailboat cruising across the ocean tonight in beautiful
Thank you
colors.
so much. We appreciate it. And okay, we're gonna have some people from Canada as well. Thank you all.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight.
I have another question here. Let's see. Another question about hinges. I'm sorry. Another question about
Well,
hinges.
we've got a lot of
Okay.
box questions, Barb. Like,
Yes.
why don't you grind the mirror? Why? The reason you don't grind the mirror is because you will chip the silver off the back of it. So it's much easier to use a 220 grit sandpaper and take the sharp off the back, which after you cut it, you've already disturbed the silver on the back of the mirror. And if you notice, the back of the mirror is as sharp as the front of the mirror, no matter what. So you take your 220 grit sandpaper, sand it this way, sand the face of it, and then go ahead and your foil will normally stick if you clean the glass really well. So
Yeah.
that probably wasn't even a question, was it? Yeah, it was. I kind of saw something about that.
I was reading a question. I was getting ready.
Go.
So I don't know if it was a question or not.
I don't know, but let's try
I'm
it.
sure it was good information.
I hope
whatever.
so. I hope it helped everybody.
I know you guys wax your pieces, but other artists either don't or downright discourage it. I was just curious on your thoughts.
I wax my copper foil pieces just because when the customer picks them up, I would prefer them to just really be pristine. And the waxing it shows off the patina. And if you don't patina it, waxing it will also... waxing actually helps clean the glass like on a second or third secondary surface kind of a way. But I wax the small stuff because when I do copper foil stuff, if it's big, it's a repair job. And if it's little, it's just sun catchers and boxes because everything I do is lead and I don't wax my lead. So I polish it out by hand and give it that beautiful pewter finish.
Deborah said she did the repairs on the lampshade that you advised her on, and it was incredibly satisfying, especially when her mother-in-law saw it restored to its original
Oh,
state.
don't you love that when that happens?
Yeah, that's.
I'm glad that helped, Deborah. I'm glad that
Nice,
helped.
nice, Deborah. Thank you for sharing
And,
that.
yeah, thanks for sharing it with our viewers, and I'm glad everything worked out.
You know, we had that video this week about plunging the glass in the hot water and making cracked glass. So a question came in, why does that glass not crack?
Well, because it's too hot. The reason the glass doesn't crack, well, actually it does crack, but I'm not sure if it shows it in the video, but when we quench that bubble inside that bucket of water, my thumb is on the tip of the blowpipe. So what we're doing when we're crackling the glass is we're actually we're destructing it, that piece. So we're putting it in. If my hand isn't on the tip of the blowpipe so that air can escape, my thumb is preventing the air from escaping. The piece of glass will actually implode on itself. And so we don't want that to happen. So we stick it in the water and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we come out. And then we go into what's called the glory hole or the reheater to reheat the glass because we've just really basically ripped this thing apart and put it in there. And as it gets hot, we blow air into it and those surfaces open up, which produce crackle glass. And it's really a fun process.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work all the time, but
We'll probably show an example of that next week. I don't think we've showed that yet.
No, I think we have a couple of vessels out there that are really crackle
We'll show
pretty,
you
so
an example
we'll share
of that.
with you. So.
Okay, question that let me see if we have any questions here. I can, we had a question that came in. Can stained glass be inlaid with another piece of glass and be fused together? In other words, can edges of glass be fused together?
Only if they're compatible. You can't fuse them together this way unless they're compatible. You can't fuse them together this way unless they're compatible. Compatibility, which is the coefficient of expansion and contraction on the glass, has to be identical in order for that glass to stay together after the heating or the fusing process is completed. So I was just talking to Barbara about doing a little fusing thing that we've done a short on, and as to how we could video it and just kind of share with y'all about a simple fused project for just about any window that you could possibly build, I guess. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, burnt roll toast. Best way to stage a three-sided pyramid to house a battery tea light. We were looking at that.
Yeah, we were looking at that.
You just leave the tea light separate.
Yeah, you leave the tea light separate. So if you do a three-sided, let's just call it a tree, a three-sided tree. So what you do, what you take a vase cap, a lamp vase cap, okay? Set it down like it was sitting on the lamp on your paper. Attach those three trees to it, and make sure they're level at the top. And when you're done with that, flip it over and put your tea light inside the vase cap, and it makes a great little outdoor lamp.
And you just put it on a little piece of glass, right?
Yeah, well, you don't even have to do that because you can, you just cut the angle of your three pieces
Oh,
to
yes.
fit on, and you solder them right to the vase cap, and the vase cap becomes your candle cup when you turn it over. Okay, it's
All
a
right.
cool little idea. It's a great little idea. Let me see if I can't come up with it, and I'll try and share it with y'all next week.
Question. My husband and I are going on a 6 to 8 week road trip with our camper. Did you sell your work while on the road? If so, what sold well?
No, and just because a lot of campgrounds frown on that, you know, in the parks, they frown on you setting up shop in the campground.
I would do camp related sun catchers.
That's what I was
Things
just getting ready to
about
say.
camping, sunshine,
The
birds,
kayak,
flowers,
yeah,
kayaks,
kayaks.
tents. Dogs are popular.
Dogs are real popular. If you can
and
do them like 5 pieces total, you know.
Sometimes we'll get orders while we're traveling, but we won't actually be selling. We don't actually sell sun catchers. We
do a lot of commission work.
We do a lot of commission work, and we visit galleries that have our work, and they sell our work.
And we do like a meet the artist kind of thing. So like we'll show up at a gallery and that sells our Christmas ornaments and vessels, and people can meet us and we'll talk about our work and possibly bring some new work with us.
But yeah, it's
a little bit different.
don't know how you go about doing that at a camp because you really need a license when you're selling. So
Right.
you would have to plan it out. You'd have to plan it out. If there's galleries that you want to sell your work at, go for it. See if they'll do an artist meet and greet.
Yeah.
So,
So this is
Question.
really. I'm so glad that everybody tuned in tonight. This is great. We have a lot of people in here talking. And,
okay, Karen has a question.
hey, Karen.
Any project that had either of you puzzled or turned down?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't. Barbara taught me a long time ago. Just say yes, and then we'll figure out how to do it later.
I know one.
What-
We had someone called about a big commission one time.
Oh yeah.
And it was a window that seemed to be out of our realm of expertise. But when you looked at it closer, it really wasn't, because it could have been broke down into smaller
It wasn't
pieces.
anything that we don't already do.
It wasn't anything
Yeah.
unusual. So yeah, no, sometimes that happens. You will have to turn work down, or sometimes you find out later you turned work down and you could have
And you coulda, shoulda,
accomplished
woulda,
it.
coulda. Right.
But yeah.
But you know what?
That's
It's better to turn it down because you're not sure of something about it than to take the work and mess it up.
Yeah, you
And
don't want to do that.
That right there, because a guy told me one time, if you do something nice for somebody, they're going to tell the people they know. But if you screw them over, they're going to tell everybody. It doesn't matter if they know them or not. They're going to walk up on the street and say, you know what, that blah 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 blah
Don't
blah
ever do
blah.
that.
So anyway, don't do that. Yeah, if there's something bugging you about a job that you're not real sure about, and it's out of your realm or your wheelhouse, as they say, it's not that important because there'll be something else come along. So
Okay. Let's see. Do we have any more questions?
I hope so.
Are we ready for a?
I think we should do a little glass chat. You want to? You
Yeah,
want
let's
to?
do a glass chat.
Let's
How
do a
about
glass chat, Barb. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight. We can leave that main camera on. We're going to talk a little bit about tonight, or a little bit tonight about a new video we've got coming out, and because we want to share it with you. And you know, we've already done the unboxing of the grinder and showed you all that, the quick fit bit and everything. But so tonight we're just going to, this is what's coming up in the new video, and we told you we were going to share it with you. And we're going to share this with you on a new video and tell you all about it and how it works. You know, in the past, we've all been concerned about when we're doing copper foil and we're grinding the edges of borders, that there's absolutely no way possible to keep them straight because how your pressure changes in your hand going across the wheel, and it kind of gives it a little hoop-de-doo, kind of like just a little bit, but it's enough to notice it in your hand. So anyway, the Technoglass has come out with an attachment to the grinder that is the straight edge tool, you know, the straight edge tool. Okay, so we're gonna put this on to the test on the grinder in the video and explain to you how it works. And this is a new attachment that you can get to fit the grinder.
And it's really nice for boxes.
Oh yeah, see, boxes, that's the thing. Yeah, that's awesome. So then the other thing that we're going to talk about, which is those of you that have the really old inland grinders may have a second story work surface. Well, they call this the Mini G surface. This is Technoglass's Mini G surface, and it also is an attachment for the grinder, and it also comes with not only a 1/4-inch grinder bit, but it comes with an 1/8-inch grinder bit as well. So we're going to do these three attachments and show you how they work and give you our opinion on them, because we haven't put these on the grinder yet. We've been waiting on them to come in. So
now, when we ordered the grinder, we ordered the set, which is the straight edge, and we ordered the Mini G.
And the Mini G, right.
But they did not send we did not get the heads with the Mini G.
They were
grinder.
sold separately.
They were sold separately. So when you get your price, just know that you're going to have to buy those bits.
No, you're going to have to buy $16 and some change worth of jewelry, what they call jewelry bits for the grinder. The Mini G system, you need the bits for them. And, so you have your part number here for your Mini G, your bits is T as in Tom, G as in George, G as in George, M as in Michael, B as in boy. That's your part number, the mini bits for the Technoglass grinder. That's at Sunshine. That's their part number. So if you call them and get that part number, they'll send that right out to you.
Yeah,
when
if you order
it.
the second story, make sure you order that bit.
Yeah, so we're going to share
wait
that. We're going to share that with everybody. Get this video going because, the box video was a big hit, Barb, and I want to
and that
really
straight edge would be great for boxes.
kudos to you, babe, because you did a great job.
everything.
But you did such a wonderful job on the editing. And
Okay, would those accessories fit on other grinders? The bits do.
the quick change bits do. Now, I have other grinders. I have a brand new Inland Whistling. I'm going to try the straight edge on it, but I don't think it's going to, because what it does is it fits inside. Well, there's a slit, but also it's the grinder. If you look on, I can just show this to you right here.
I was talking about the set.
Yeah, but if you look on this, the same grid pattern is on the grinder, and it's a hexagon. Okay, rather it's a hexagon. So, and these pins are hexagon shaped, and they go into the grid surface to help you adjust for your straight edge that you're trying to use. So, yeah. Well, we're going to get all that worked out, and we're going to give you our opinion, and we're going to let you know exactly what we think about it.
We'll let you know if they fit your. I know
your
the
grinder,
bits
yeah.
will. Those quick fit bits
fit your grinder.
fit your grinder. There was a question, has anyone had experience with the Griffin convertible grinder, especially how well it works when sitting down? I'm not sure what the convertible grinder is.
I don't either, but I mean, we have a Graphite, and the Griffin Graphite is what we have.
That's the
that's
little
in the
one.
back. That's the little purple one. Yeah. So I don't know. Most of what we have are Inland Wizards, Whizzlings, and a couple of Whizzes. And now we have the grinder, which, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm working on that piano project, and I love this thing. This is great.
Burnt raw toast, do you have a good idea on how to, I think, stage or how to hold the pieces in place for that pyramid? And you'll need to tack solder them at the top, right?
Yeah, what I would do is if you're trying to do that pyramid, what you're gonna have to, you probably want it burnt raw toast. You probably want to treat that like a lamp. Is to lay it down flat and lay those 3 or 4 pieces down and use electrical tape across them, because the electrical tape is rubber, so it's going to stretch. So you should be able to pick up those pieces and close them up, and then tack solder it at the top in the point, or in however you have it. If it works out at 4 pieces or 5 pieces, 6 pieces, if you're going to have a hexagon or octagon, however that's going to work out. Or if you're just doing a pyramid, point to point, solder that, get that point done first, but make sure all your other edges line up, and use electrical tape to hold that together. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely use the black, any kind of electrical tape, but electrical tape, because it's rubber, and as you bend the glass, the tape's not going to come off the glass. It's just going to stretch around it, and it won't hurt your copper foil. So.
Right. So Magali wants to know, when fusing a small project, and if you do not have a schedule, how do you know how long to anneal it?
If it's a small project, Magali, let's give you the firecracker version of annealing. Take it up to temperature where you want it. Let it do what you want it to do. Vent the kiln to 1,000 degrees from wherever it is. Just open the lid, hold it open until your thermocouple reaches 1,000 degrees. Close the lid. It'll come back up a little bit, and then turn it off, and you should be fine. And from that point on, do not look at it, Magali. Just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because annealing, the whole thing about annealing is what you're doing is you're thermal shocking it if it breaks. Okay, so vent to 1,000 just like normal. Close the lid, turn it off, and you'll see it'll go back up to maybe another 120, 125 degrees. And, have your plug in their kiln, the lid closed, and, go on and make dinner and work on another project. Just forget about it till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But that's if you're doing bigger pieces, the annealing process is much, much more technical. The thicker you go, the longer it needs to anneal, the longer it needs to soak, the longer it needs to hold. I mean, it's quite a process. But if you're just doing little pieces, you can anneal it like that, don't you think, Barb?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have something else you'd like to share tonight?
Well, I was going to share a piece of glass. I have a really pretty piece of glass. And Miss Mary really loves those treats. She is gnawing on a piece of rawhide right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share a piece of glass with you. This is one of the pieces of glass that we're going to be using for the boats, or the John boat that's going in the window that we're getting ready to get started on. I'm going to put this. Let's see. Let's do the close-up camera, Barb. So this is a Kokomo, y'all. This is Kokomo 61. It's a beautiful, just brown and white, streaky opal, okay? It's an opal. And so when the brown gets pulled down and mixed in, you see the white makes a beautiful, beautiful amber. And let's show the backside of this. Look how dark that is right there. It's just really pretty. And you can see it. It gives it like a gray-green cast and a gray-green cast right in here. Is this going to be absolutely a magnificent glass for a wooden John boat sitting on the marsh? Are you kidding me? You better believe it. So anyway, that's what I'm sharing. That's a Kokomo 61. And that glass is really, really easy to work with. And then I want it, because this question, Barb, just keeps popping up. I want to share this with you. This is a iridized glass, and y'all can see that pretty good, I think. There we go. Okay, so this is an iridized glass, and the question always comes up, well, Ed, on the iridized glass, what side do we cut from? Well, you can cut on the iridized side, because the iridescent, what turns the glass to iridescence is a chemical that's sprayed on it while it's hot. So this glass is a little bumpy, jumpy, and divotty, but we're going to cut a little bit of it. And you're probably not going to hear it. Just like that. You know why? Because this glass, y'all, is way, way dense.
Further. There you go.
Okay? This is way dense. It has a ton of white in it. I'll try and hold this still enough that you can see the colors stacked up in it. So this is really, I mean, here you go again. This is another one of those. Yeah. I'll move this out of the way. I'm sorry, guys. I got all kinds of stuff going on. So, but this is another one of those, hey, you better listen to your cutter. So let's listen to this cutter. This is my cutter. Here we go. Turn it around, break it from the other end. There we go. But I didn't hear a thing, but did I change the pressure? Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. So we're going to take and we're going to split this one down the middle. We'll just split it down the middle and make it work. There we go. Okay. So again, y'all, on the iridescent glass, cut it with the iridescent side up. Put your pattern on there if that's what you want to see. If in fact you want the iridescent glass on the back side, just turn your pattern over and that'll do what you need, because this is really a pretty glass. But it's white and amber, and then it's iridized, but you can cut on the iridized side. So, you know, Barb, I really enjoyed sharing that with everybody.
Thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. Burnt Raw Toast wants to know, how much is that piece of brown and white? Or is that for...
The K61?
Yeah, the one you showed right
That
there.
sheet, that's a 16 by 21, and it run about $38.
Is that for sale, that piece of glass?
Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that was...
That was the question. I'm sorry. Kokomo 61, Sunshine's got it, Burnt Raw Toast. And I'm going to take a picture tomorrow, because I just got a big box of glass in from them. And I want to take a picture, and I'm going to show everybody how it comes to you. And because they're in this particular box is 4 32 by 42 sheets of glass, y'all. 4 sheets of it. That means there's 16 pieces of glass, 16 by 21 in this box that I got, that I'm going to unpack in the morning. So
great demo, Ed.
I hope so.
That's what Ray said. Great
Ray,
demo. Thank you, Ray.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Everybody give Ray a thumbs up.
All right,
give
Ray.
Ed a thumbs up.
Thank you,
giving
Ray.
us such good demos and all this great information he shares with us every week. We'll be having a new video coming out next week.
Yeah, we will.
Or this week, later this week.
Well, we're finishing up the piano window this week.
Yeah, we'll be having some shorts.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be good, and
if you
we're
ahead.
looking forward to it. No, we're looking forward to it.
We still have time for a few more questions.
Yeah,
so
please
if you have
do.
a question, just put it in the chat.
Put some questions out there to us, please, everybody. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to have to take Barbara and the producer for Chinese again tonight.
Right.
Because it's
fine.
Monday night.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That sounds wonderful to me. Greetings from New Jersey. Hey, Richard. How you doing?
Hey, Richard. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Julie.
Kathy Cat's here.
Magali.
Magali's here. Richard's here. Rick's here. Burnt Raw Toast. Kathy Cat. A lot of people are here tonight. Texas Tom. Shaz Ray. We're so glad to see everybody back this week. Joyce is here. Karen Mills is here. Karen, did I get your questions answered? I think I did. And thanks again to Michael McBride and Burnt Raw Toast. We appreciate the super thanks. And I think I've said hello to everybody. Rochelle is here. Mike and Chantel are here. I hope I didn't forget Deborah's here. Deborah Struble, Mary Ellen Smith, Darren Judy. Thank you all for coming out.
Yeah, and y'all
tonight.
keep checking the website for patterns and stuff, because we have some new box lids coming out.
Ron, Kathy Cat. I'm just trying to. Rochelle. I hope I've got everybody. Did you have anything else? Hey, Lisa and Richard, Brenda, Dana.
Yeah,
Julie,
hey everybody.
Can
Wow.
you explain one more time how you solder the lip on your cutter? How you soldered the lip on your cutter? How'd you do that, Ed?
All right.
That's a good one, Julie.
Yeah, you guys are crazy.
It's
Here
a
we
good
go.
One. It's a good one.
It's a good question, so let's talk about it, Barb. Switch me over to the close-up, would you? Please, I want to share this with everybody. And it
Okay.
really is a good idea, and it works like a charm. So this little area, we'll get it close. This little area right here, that's between the texture on your cutter head and the tip, or the cutting wheel, the cutter head. You just take copper foil and you just wrap it around here like 3 or 4 times. Make sure this is clean. And then you solder it, and you start layering your solder, and eventually you build up. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that, Warren?
You can now.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Eventually you end up with this, and because it's solder, it's very soft, and it wears down a little bit just from using the cutter. But if you look really close right here, you can see the copper foil right there. It's just a layer of copper foil, and then you can take and bead that up, and then you kind of lead it forward, and that solder will run that way, and it'll create its own little thing. Okay, but it's a great way for you it's a great way to control your cutter, because I find that it's so much easier to do. And when you're cutting and you're sweating and everything, this keeps your index finger from sliding down. So we can. I don't need to do another one because I have one, so I can't really do a video on it because this one's working fine for me. But
Definitely need a brass cutter.
you definitely need a brass.
And we have those in our
Pencil
Amazon
cutter.
store.
Yeah, so we have the brass pencil cutter in our Amazon store. We can switch back, Barb, please.
Okay.
And so we have that in our Amazon store, and you can check that out. Everybody's got copper foil, and it's not going to hurt you to do that if you're having a little trouble. It gives you a tremendous amount more control of your glass cutter head than the other way. So that's just me. That's what I like. And, my father kept the same thing on his glass cutter because that's what made his hand relax while he was working. So
Rochelle said because of recent circumstances, she has completely lost her mojo. Any suggestions on getting it back?
Rochelle, I wouldn't. I don't know what to tell you, except
when I was going through a hard time, I had a boss tell me one time, and it's probably because it was to his benefit, but he told me the best thing I could do was to just work and work and work and work, and that finally I would get to the point where I could.
I think just maybe go to the studio, make some cardinals.
Yeah, make something that's meaningful
Meaningful to you and and
It
something
takes
that's
time.
meaningful for
It takes
everyone
time.
around you. I don't even know what to say to you,
Yeah.
Rochelle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it takes time, yeah, to get. So you're just gonna have to work, in the studio to your.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was really, it was tough for me to go back in the studio. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
hard.
sure. It's hard. It's really hard to go back into the studio. But then you really have to, you have to do it because you have to think, yeah, what would they want you to do?
Right. Right.
Jump back in.
Okay, Rick has a question.
Hey, Rick.
I read not to go over the edge with the cutter, but notice you do. So it's okay to go over the edge?
Well, which edge? No, no. It's okay. I do it, but what you're gonna find is if you come off and you're not at the right angle, you're gonna break the glass. So let me see. Hey, Rick, let me just check that out real quick.
What you doing? Do you want me to turn that camera?
Well, I want to come off the edge. I want to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do it all the time. Yeah.
Okay, I do. I come off the edge. You're right, Rick. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay because it does work, but you have to be careful because if the glass is thin, Rick, and I will tell you this, if the glass is thinner than just regular your normal art glass, don't come off the edge because it's going to break it. And sometimes I don't even realize that I do that, but I'm just like bam, 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 running scores, and I guess I do come off. I do come off of the edge of the glass, so I guess it's okay. It's again, everybody has their thing, and apparently that's one of my things. And you know what? Sometimes they'll tell you, like if you go away to school for glass blowing or any kind of glass class, they will tell you that, maybe the teacher will say, so you have that bad habit, or you have many bad habits that we have to curb. That's a bad habit. We're gonna have to curb that bad habit for you.
Saltwater Haven wants to know, how do I become a member and how do I support your channel? You can become a member by going to the ARTyRV channel on YouTube, on our main channel, and you'll see across the top it has community, member. Go to membership and you can join there and you can support our channel that way. And also by watching our videos and super thanks and things like that.
Yeah, so you're watching our videos?
Soon have merchandise, but you can also go to calmmyglass.com, ARTyRV, and there's links there to go to our supplies, our tools, our Amazon page.
Any small purchase that you buy from, if you go to our website and then go to our Amazon store, any of those small purchases help support the ARTyRV channel. And so, anything that y'all do and in thanking us for what we do is greatly appreciated. So
Richard Fox wants to know how Miss Mary is. Miss Mary is great. We bought her a raincoat this weekend.
Yeah, we bought her a raincoat, and so check out the new video.
Yeah, so she has a video on YouTube with her little raincoat on, and so.
But she's on the ARTyRV YouTube channel, right?
Yes, she is. She's on the
kidding?
ARTyRV
She's part of the ARTyRV channel.
Yes.
She's our girl.
So thank you all very much.
She loves her new raincoat too.
She does. She looks adorable. So that's, I believe, the last short we put out on YouTube. It had a big following. Okay, Kathy Cat says she's going to join, and someone else said they were going to join, and we got a new member today.
Thank you.
We're very appreciative of
Martha
that.
Crowder's here tonight. Hi,
Hi,
Martha.
Martha.
Happy Valentine to you.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We hope to see you guys next week as well. We'll be meeting here at 7 o'clock on Monday. Bring your questions. And if you have any questions right now, we still have a little bit of time. Just put your question in the chat.
And we're doing a delivery to our one of our customers at,
Yes.
to a gallery this weekend coming up. So maybe we'll just go crazy and take Artie with us. I don't know.
Okay, that's a good idea, Magali. That sounds cool. So Magali's going to hook up with Rochelle and talk about some projects she's working on.
Okay, great. So, and like I said, keep an eye out because we've got some new, some other box lids coming out, and
Yeah, we have some new things.
and then we have the new video coming out about the attachments that attach to Technoglass's The Grinder, which is really a phenomenal grinder, and I'm using it a lot right now. So.
Okay, Kat St. Jane, can you put anything in your panels if copper foil will stick to the object?
Well, you know, there are, who said that? Kat St. Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are people that use geodes in their stained glass windows, and they do copper foil around them. You can also put copper foil around seashells and attach it. I've repaired a lot of windows that hang outside here at the beach, and they've got copper foiled shells and shark's teeth and all that stuff in them. As long like you said, as long as you can get the foil to stick to. I've even had them brought in here because the plate that was inside of it was copper foiled, and that was the centerpiece. It's very unusual, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People get very creative, and you're right. As long as you can copper foil it, you can solder it. So just remember, solder's $32 and some change a pound now, so make sure you don't have any big gaps.
Yeah, so should be fine.
Yeah, you can, as long as you can get copper foil around it, hon, go ahead and do it. I mean, that would just be like, you know, a bonus, really, when you think
Yes,
about it.
would.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have any more questions? Ron says he's actively doing stained glass because of us.
Oh, hey, that is a
Thank you,
very
Ron.
nice compliment. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate that, and we appreciate everyone that's here
Right.
tonight and hanging out with us and
And
participating
showing up
in the
every Monday night. I know
conversation.
you guys, you guys are busy, and I hope that, and it's really nice for you to make us a part of your Monday nights. That's.
Can you explain the difference in putty and whiting versus cementing versus glazing?
Well, you putty and whiting. Whiting is actually white Portland cement, and when you do that, it's just anything. When you're doing lead work, anything that you use white on it, even plaster of Paris, it always leaves that dust and everything else. So if you look on our website and get our putty recipe, and then we do polish it with a little bit of plaster of Paris, but don't overdo it. I actually prefer to polish my lead windows with sawdust. It makes them look so much prettier, and it cleans the glass thoroughly, so you don't have all that, any kind of residue whatsoever. You know, the whole process, as you're cleaning, as you're doing the window, you're cleaning it and everything. But man, if you use sawdust to help polish the window and clean it up after you're done puttying, wow, what a difference that makes.
Richard wanted to know when the next viewer showcase is. It's
The end of the month, first Monday in March.
first Monday in March. And Karen wanted to know how camping was. It rained all weekend, but we walked on the beach every day, so it was fun.
It was a great, yeah. Even a rainy day of camping is a good day.
Yeah, it was. It rained a lot. The one night it just, it was terrible. It was 35-mile-an-hour winds, maybe more.
The
45.
motorhome was rocking 45, gust to 45, and Mary was a little bit afraid, and we had one leak in the living room that we didn't really find till the next morning, and it wasn't that bad. We took the shop back and got that cleaned up. So.
Okay, did you answer the question about putty whiting versus
Well,
cementing and
I
glazing?
yeah,
Or
I did because I
interrupt
don't
you?
use whiting or that glazing, the cement glazing.
You did years ago.
I
though.
did use it years ago, but it took forever to clean the windows. So when I'm doing lead now, I use the recipe that's on our website that I've been using now for 34 years or so, and that was given to me by a stained glass guy, and so I've been using that. But instead of I use plaster of Paris to polish the window, but I don't use a lot of it. The other thing is I prefer to use sawdust to polish my windows. So, and I don't like whiting or the white porcelain cement. I don't like that.
Magali said when she did a lead class a while back, they used a putty and then used a floor buffer, and it came out all shiny.
Yeah, that's cool. You use a floor buffer, yeah. You have to be careful, not to get all wonky on it, but a
Keep it
buffer,
level.
yeah, the RV buffer works
Don't
really
press
good
down
too.
on it. Yeah.
The orbital buffer works really good on stained glass windows.
It sure does.
I mean, it really does. You just have to be careful. It doesn't require a lot of pressure, but it definitely cleans the glass and makes it look really nice, and does, like Magali said, puts a beautiful finish on the lead. So.
Okay. So do we have any more questions? Just put them in the chat with a Q. We got just a few more minutes.
Yeah. So Pamela just showed up. Hi, Pamela. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Any questions? Just
throw them in the Q box there.
put them in the queue in there with the queue. And I think we're going to have Chinese food tonight. I think that's what we all voted on, right?
Let's see. No.
No, we changed our
No,
mind.
no, we are. But I'm just looking at that question right there that
Can
Pamela
I
asked.
use
Pamela,
the
put a
same-
Q in front of it so we know that is a question.
Can
but
I use the same patina on copper foil as for zinc?
No, because it's copper. They
They're two
make a
different
patina for zinc and they make a patina for copper foil, Pamela.
So I mean, you
I just
could
wanted to
try
answer
it.
that, but
You
but
could
you
try
don't want to do
You
it.
could try it, but test it on something that you don't want to. Just try it. I've never tried it. I would imagine that it's no, two different kinds.
Yeah, they are. They're two different kinds.
But
So they
you
do have a
never know.
patina for zinc, and they have a patina for lead, and they have a patina for copper. So
Yeah, for copper foil.
copper foil. I'm
For
sorry.
solder.
For solder. Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's the whole reason. We'll go over that real quick. The whole reason you use 60-40 solder on your copper foil work is because most people patina it, and the patina works better with 60% tin and 40% lead. So please, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do so. And because that's another way that you can help support the ARTyRV channel. Our goal, and we want to be at 25,000 subscribers by December the 31st. And everybody, y'all are helping us make that goal by joining up with the ARTyRV channel to the tune of almost 1,000 subscribers a month. So keep it up, everybody.
Yeah.
Ahmed.
We have one more question.
Okay.
What temperature do you like the Heiko iron?
I turned it just a little tiny bit above all the way down. And that I like, and I'm guessing
What's
it's
that?
somewhere around 540, 580.
Celsius?
No, probably
The Heiko?
the Heiko. Yeah.
360?
Yeah, it's about three. Right at, I guess I turned it down almost all the way because I don't like to work that hot. It's still around 680 degrees, turned down all the way. I think it's 360, be 720, 730, something like
Is it
that.
360 on the Heiko?
Yeah.
Celsius.
Yeah,
think
Heiko's
that's what he
Celsius, and it's 360. I keep it all the way down. No reason to have it up all the way high. Unless it's just cooling off too fast for you. Turn it up a little bit and then just kind of back up on the flux a little bit too, and your iron won't cool down quite as fast.
Okay, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. And we love y'all.
Very much. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.